Hello boys and girls, creatures of all ages. Welcome to another TFG Radio video battle report brought to you by yours truly, SaltyJohn. Today's battle features fellow #wrecked teammate Tom and his new Elysian drop troop army, which he won in a raffle from TFG Radio. Pays to listen to the show, guys. Just how many podcasts do you know that give away whole 40k armies? Today I return to home with the Salamanders list. Longtime readers of my former blog know I've loved playing Salamanders since 5th edition, the end of 6th, and took them to the BAO in 2015. Today, I'm bringing a mostly drop pod-oriented Gladius with 1st Company Task Force. Here's the list. Salamanders. Battle Company with Vulcan, Barebones Chaplain. 3 times 10-man tactical squads with Meltagun, Multi-Melta, and Combi-Melta in drop pods. 3 5-man tactical squads with Flamer and Combi-Flamer in pods. 2 Multi-Melta land speeders. 1 dev squad with 2 grav cannons and a rhino. 1 dev squad with 2 multi-meltas and a rhino. 1st Company Task Force with a 5-man stern guard squad with double heavy flamers in a pod. Vulcan usually rides in here. 2 5-man stern guard squads with 2 combi meltas and drop pods. This is 9 drop pods, 2 rhinos, 85 models, and a shitload of objective secured marines. Tom is playing the flyer heavy Elysian list he's been getting used to. This is one of his first games with the list. 2 alpha striking, potentially null deploy lists. Should be fun. Tom's list. Elysian Regiment Drop Troops. CAD number 1. Company Command Squad with 3 Meltaguns. 2 Veteran Squads with 3 Meltaguns and Valkyries. 2 Vulture Gunships, 1 Vendetta. CAD number 2. Company Command Squad with 3 Meltaguns. 2 Veteran Squads with 3 Meltaguns and Valkyries. 1 Vulture Gunship, 1 Vendetta. 9 Flyers, 6 of which are transports. 59 models. We rolled up ITC Mission 5 Big Guns with Vanguard deployment. We are using current ITC FAQs and the new official GW FAQ. Where applicable, GW FAQs will trump ITC FAQ. So this is the deployment, and I elected to go second, and so there won't be any rolling to C's, and I'm just going to get to do what I want. So this is going to be 2 basically alpha striking lists, and we'll see how that goes. So Tom's got the top of turn 1 coming at you. In Alpha Strike versus Alpha Strike matchups, it really puts you on the back foot right away if you don't get to go in the turn that you want to go. Tom does not want to come on turn 1 before I do, which is clearly evident by the finger that he threw up in my face. Here's the end of Tom's turn 1, and he dropped 2 of his Valkyries in and put a whole point on each of those rhinos. For the Maelstroms, Tom took 2 and 6. He probably isn't going to score kill unit unless I kill one of my own units, and hold 2, the enemy's 2. So we'll see how John's turn 1 goes in a minute.
Ever. Oh, you've got a flyer? We're doing mysterious objectives, right?
Well, yeah, I gotta roll my mysterious objectives. You're doing a flyer list, so I gotta roll those. It's the only time anybody remembers. Alright, so this is the end of John's turn 1, and a bunch of stuff came down. 5 tactical squads. Shot a ton of twin-linked meltas, twin-linked grabs, needing 6s. Got a couple of hits, but Tom made 5 4-up jinx saves. So.
Highway to the danger zone.
Yeah, so that basically this is what's happening. We'll see how this goes. Hey Casey, can you hand me the clipboard? Casey,
can you hand
me the clipboard? So for this round, I rolled up 1 and 6, but I didn't kill a unit, and unless Tom kills one of his own, I won't get it. But I'll probably hold his 1 unless he brings in some big guys. So we'll see how that goes. One of the coolest things about a null deploy skew list like Tom's is that most people don't have the tools to deal with flyers, or at least not massed flyers like Tom's got. 9 flyers is a lot to have to chew through for an army like mine that has no Skyfire, no Interceptor. So rolling on those mysterious objectives, like we said, normally nobody does that unless they're facing flyer-heavy lists. I tried, it just never popped up. A list like mine with the Gladius and Salamander chapter traits has a lot of twin-linked, high-strength shots that should be able to take down some flyers using 6s. Unfortunately, that just wasn't happening for me at the very beginning of the game. Right here we're at the end of Tom's turn 2, and he attempted to shoot the moon on his Maelstroms. He was only able to take down 1 rhino there. He was wrecked, and he put the hurt on a squad.
Which has to take a penning test.
Which does have to take a test. However, he wasn't able to get 3. He put a bunch of whole points on drop pods, but wasn't able to finish them off. So at the end of his 2, he's sitting at tried to shoot the moon, but didn't get any. He didn't score any from the previous turn. I am going to score number 1, so I'll have 1 in my column. Tom's inability to shoot the moon on his turn puts me in a pretty good spot, I feel like, at this point in the battle. I'm not quite sure why Tom kept so many of his veterans and company command squads inside the different transports. If he really wanted to shoot the moon, he probably should have gotten some of those out. By not getting them out, he almost guaranteed that he wasn't going to get what he wanted. Guard units are fragile, but they really do pack a lot of heat. Alright, here we are at the end of SaltyJohn's turn 2. And I only had my speeder come on and 1 stern guard squad of 3 come on. We shot as much as we could, but I got 1 vendetta down to 1 whole point. Put a whole point on the blue vendetta back there at the back. Valkyrie, sorry. So this is a very resilient army of his without any Skyfire Nexuses around. Even if I'm twin linking all the melta shots, it's still pretty difficult. So we'll see how it goes. I did score 1 Maelstrom. And I took 1 and 3, which is hold the enemy's 1 and my 1. So we'll see if I can get those 2 done and at least be ahead on Maelstroms. Here's the end of the top of turn 3, Tom's turn 3. And he had a bunch of guys fly off who jinked, brought on the another Vendetta and the other Vulture. Shot down a bunch of stuff. He killed off a 5-man tactical squad over in the corner.
I can fit another flyer
over in the north corner there. And then he, over in the north corner, he shot down a stern guard squad to 1 guy left. Put a couple of hull points out. But ultimately, he's only going to score 1 kill unit. He wanted to go for, again, the shoot the moon. So we went ahead and scored at the beginning of my turn 3. So I'll have 3 Maelstroms to Tom's 0. In a list like Tom's, it's with so much firepower, it's really very tempting to go for the shoot the moon option of kill 3 units when you have it available. He's still keeping, though, a lot of his firepower within the transports. And if he's going to want to get ahead on Maelstroms at some point, he really will have to change that tactic and get some of those squads out at some point. Otherwise, he's just conceding me the Maelstroms. Here at the end of SaltyJohn's turn 3, I was able to actually kill 1 Valkyrie, and then the guys inside, 1 survived, but he took 4 multi-meltas to the face and died in the ruins. That was pretty good. Over here, I was able to put a couple of hull points on Valkyries there. Moved over and consolidated on an objective behind the Chaos Rock, just so I could try to hold all of the objectives down. For my Maelstroms this turn, I rolled up 3 and 6. So I needed to kill a unit, which I did, and then hold my objective 1, which is right underneath that drop pod, with the 3 objective secured units, the pod, the Rhino, and the Devastator squad inside. So I should be able to do that. Tom isn't going to have scored anything for his turn, because he attempted to shoot the moon again and wasn't able to do it. Pretty much. Neither of us is doing much damage to the other one so far in this battle. A couple of dedicated transports here and there is not going to be enough to win either of us this match, and I know if it goes on too long, he's going to get those Vendettas and Valkyries down and contest all the objectives at the end. Right, here we are at the end of Tom's turn 4. He again attempted to shoot the moon. He was almost successful, but I have 1 Devastator squad who made about 14 armor saves to leave 1 guy left. He blew up a drop pod holding an objective, killed off a unit holding that objective, and so he did pretty well this turn. I luckily will get all of my reserves, thankfully, so we'll see how I do on my turn. As of now, score stands. Tom went again to shoot the moon. So I went ahead and scored for my next turn, so 3 and 6, so I'm at 5 Maelstroms to Tom's 0. By attempting to shoot the moon 3 turns in a row on the Maelstroms and failing 3 turns in a row, Tom has effectively ceded the Maelstrom mission to me at this point. he's learning the list, and he's continuing to figure out the role that the different units play. And I think he hadn't fully realized just how integral a piece of the puzzle the company command squads and the veteran squads are to the success of a list like his. He's not going to be able to get the Maelstroms, even with all that firepower, if he doesn't have his other units on the ground that have a lot of firepower. Now, I know that as the game goes to the end, and so does Tom at this point, that he's going to bring those flyers down at some point and contest all the objectives at the end, and I'm not going to have enough time to kill them all off, especially now that the vultures in turns 4 and 5 are going to really start to whittle down my squads.
Here we're at the end of John's turn 4, and everything came in automatically. Vulcan and his squad came in down here, and Burninate the Warlord squad with a bunch of heavy flamers. I put some hull points down on some Vendettas, Valkyries, and Vultures, but didn't wreck any of them. I am contesting all the objectives right now. I'm holding all the objectives right now, and that's good for me as we get near the end of the game. This round, I chose 3 and 6. Kill a unit and hold the opponent's, or no, hold my one. So I've got 2 units on it. I shipped 3 units on it. I should be able to do that, and I did kill a unit. On to Tom's turn 5. All right, this is the end of Tom's turn 5, and it was a crazy turn. He did actually successfully kill 3 units this turn, but he did not roll the Maelstroms to shoot the moon again, unfortunately. So he killed off the last Devastator here, killed off a whole Stern Guard squad, wrecked the Rhino, destroyed a drop pod, put a bunch of wounds on this squad here also. And that's how that ended up. And as far as the score goes, I'm going into my turn 5. Wait, what did you select for yours?
What's that?
What were your Maelstroms you selected? It was my 2, right?
Yeah, your 2 and kill a unit. So I got kill a unit.
So Tom chose hold my 2 and kill a unit. He does have the 2 in the enemy deployment zone. So we'll see if he can keep that one. And currently at the top of my turn, the score will be 7-0 on Maelstroms. Right, here we are at the end of John's turn 5, and maybe the end of the game. We don't know yet. And I was able to polish off the veteran squad in the center there. Tried to assault, but didn't make it. Also tried to polish that guy off and couldn't do it. Over here, I had to move a speeder over to get an objective, and that's basically all we did. So we'll go ahead and roll for the end of the game. 1 or 2, game is over. Game goes on. On to turn 6.
I have the Maelstrom mission sewn up at this point. However, now that he's hovering flyers and he has a lot of his troops out of the transports, I'm losing a lot more units than I'm really comfortable with this close to the end of the game, and it's going to be hard for me to make some of that up. What I'm really banking on is a turn 7.
Alright, I forgot to do the score, so I'll go ahead and do that real quick. And at the end of the turn, we went ahead and scored Tom's for the next turn. You'll see his for turn 6 already marked. He took 3 and 6, and he ended up getting 1, so he's got 1 Maelstrom now to my 7. This is the end of Tom's turn 6, and so that's the top of 6. And he killed off a bunch of guys all over the place, and he kept me from getting both my Maelstroms this turn, so I'm going to be at 8 on my turn 6, Tom's 1.
As predicted, Tom went to work this turn, really whittling down my battle company even further. Battle company is one of those lists that really starts to peter out, turns 4, 5, or 6, which is, why you might see a lot of those top players making sure that their games don't go to turns 5 or 6. In the end, I know that to win this one on the primary, I'm going to have to start to take out some of his flyers that are hovering, and might have to do that in close combat because the Twin Link Meltas just aren't doing it this time around.
Here's the end of John's turn 5. I couldn't get much done. I really needed 1 Valkyrie to die. That was sitting on an objective and didn't happen. The game ends with we tied primary, 2 objectives each, but I took Maelstrom 8-1. And I also had Slay and Linebreaker, and Tom just had Linebreaker. And that's that.
We all know Battle Company and what it can do, more or less. I like taking versions of it that aren't what you would normally see, White Scars, Ultramarines, etc. I like the Salamander's version. I really like to take a lot of the Twin Link Meltas and the First Company Task Force. I even like taking some 10-man tactical squads. The cool thing about this battle report, in my opinion, was Tom's list. It was great to see a list that is unorthodox and that a lot of players don't normally play, to see how it works against a list that is far more common. If you enjoyed what you saw, let us know. If you didn't, let us know what you'd like us to change. As always, stay salty, my friends.